In the fight against ISIL, nothing is left standing. This is the latest area to be retaken by the Kurdish Peshmerga forces as they advance towards Mosul. The Peshmerga only managed to capture this main road late on Thursday. Their fighters now comb the area in search of explosives and booby traps. Some ISIL fighters are still close by, so reinforcements are sent in with the aim of consolidating the Peshmerga's control. Down the road is the town of Fadiliya, one of the largest in the area. Airstrikes by the international anti-ISIL coalition targeted the town for several days, paving the way for Kurdish fighters to enter. Despite people celebrating ISIL's defeat, for some the nightmare continues. Bassam Hussein shows me where his house once stood, now reduced to rubble. It was destroyed by an airstrike carried out by the international coalition.
It took me 10 years to build this house. I spent all my life savings on it. Now I have nothing. What crime did I commit?
When the fighting began, residents here hoisted white flags above their homes to indicate that they belonged to civilians. But even that didn't help save Bassam's home.
I've suffered from both ISIL and those fighting them. Who's going to help me rebuild my life?
He tells me he doesn't understand why airstrikes were needed. He says there were no more than 15 or 20 ISIL fighters in Al-Fadiliya. Bassam's claim is supported by the apparent lack of ISIL slogans or symbols inside the town. Unlike in other former ISIL-controlled territory, we struggle to find any sign of their presence, bar 2 buildings. This is one of the houses that was used by ISIL fighters, and although they left in an apparent rush, that didn't stop them from leaving messages of defiance on the furniture and on the walls. Also left behind were several memos, which gives us an insight into how ISIL operates. This one in particular, for example, is about the security precautions that they must take when communicating with each other. It talks about the use of landlines and how they're forbidden from saying the names of the locations they're at. In fact, ISIL's locations are numbered. So, for example, according to this document, the town of Al-Faysaliya is number 77. That just shows how complicated yet organized ISIL is. ISIL has been in control of large parts of northern Iraq for over 2 years now. The aim of the Peshmerga and the Iraqi army is to defeat the group and retake the country's second largest city, Mosul. But even if they do succeed, with tens of thousands of people already displaced and entire towns destroyed, this part of the world will remain devastated for a long time to come. Jamal Elshayyal, Al Jazeera, Al Fadiliya, on the outskirts of Mosul.